This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah.
Right there, to speak.
Yeah. Understand.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
We're about to begin our meeting. Do we have any volunteers on the prayer?
Hey, Heads, dear Lord, we thank you this day, and we thank you for this time that we come together to do the work of Dooley County. Lord, be with all of us here as we do the work of the county as in your name and as you see fit. Be with us and guide us, and thank you for all the many blessings you've already bestowed upon us. In your name we say, amen.
Amen. Let's all stand and join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated.
Give me just a second. We have some technology issues here.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
Oops, sorry about that.
We have before you a proposed agenda. Are there any additions?
Mr. Chairman, we added some, but they should be they're gonna be items number 13 through 17 that's on your agenda.
David?
I think Ms. Rhonda from the chamber, I'd like to add a time for her to speak.
No, sir.
Don't.
I don't have anything, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept the agenda with the addition.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor by the show of hands, and that motion is carried. Our old minute were mailed and emailed to everybody. What's the pleasure of the board?
I second.
All right, there's a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion on it before we vote on it? If not, all in favor by the show of hands, and that motion carried. Mr. Stevens, on you now.
And you should have a copy of the financial report for the month of February. Take it, look at it, got any questions? We'll be glad to try to answer. Item number 3, we have a vacancy on the Board of Health. And let me go see. It's already pulled up. Go to the county website, go to county directory, that's the Board of Health. The Board of Health consists of 7 members. 4 members are appointed by the Board of Commissioners. 1 member is appointed by the Board of Education, and 2 members are appointed by the City of Vienna. The position that's vacant is position 2 that was previously held by Rebecca Tidings. She has moved out of the county and resigned and tendered her resignation. So we need someone to fill that position. And these they have some sort of, they're not hard requirements, but sort of some suggestions on who should fill each one of these positions. In position 2, they suggest a licensed physician actively practicing in the county in a county with less than 4 physicians or no physicians practicing in the county who is willing and able to serve, a licensed nurse or a dentist or another person having familiarity and concern for medical services may be selected. So, short version is we finally got Jennifer Davis, John Davis's wife, is willing to serve. So I think, and she fits the category of concern for medical services. She would be, if y'all appoint her, she would just be filling out the remainder of Ms. Tidings' term. So she'll serve initially through December 31st, 2030, and then y'all could reappoint her if she's willing to serve. But that would be my recommendation, Mr. Chairman, if y'all see fit.
Need a motion for that?
Yes, sir.
I'll make that motion to appoint Ms. Jennifer Davis to position 2 of the Board of Health.
For a term that will expire 12/31/2030.
There's a motion and second. I know we ain't gonna have no discussion. All in favor by the show of hands? Okay, that motion carries.
All right. Get back to the agenda. Number 4, I'm still working. I haven't done anything on the renewing the lease with USDA, but that's on our schedule to get something done before the end of the year, before I leave. Scotty Mashburn is going to be here at 9:30 to give us an update on the branding project, so we'll skip over that and come back to that in just a second. All right, the next meeting of the Planning Commission is scheduled for Monday, April the 13th at 5:30. Glenn, would you step up for just a second?
Yes, sir. Good morning, John.
Good morning.
Good morning. The Planning Commission has two items on their agenda for their next meeting. Request number 1, David Burke has submitted a rezoning and a conditional use application for parcel 8920A. The request is to rezone the property from ag to industrial. The rezoning and conditional use request is to allow the operation of a pallet company, including the operation of a sawmill for cutting lumber and manufacturing pallets on the property. The property is located at 4890 Calhoun Road. It's the former Taylor Gin Cotton Gin facility. So let me, for those of y'all that may not know where that is, it's go to Q Public and parcel. What was that parcel number?
You just addressed it.
8920A. Oh, I think I got a, hold on a second. Yeah. I've got a map that'll maybe help show. Come on, open up. Let me go here. Yeah. This is the city of Pinehurst. This is the Pinehurst-Hawkinsville Road. This is Divina-Hawkinsville Road. That's the location. It's just it's at the intersection of Calhoun Road and Taylor Gin Road. That's the location of it. So they're wanting to put in they're going to be, making wooden pallets.
Correct.
And part of that, they're going to have a sawmill.
Correct. They will be ripping their own material with some, with timbers, with the sawmill, approximately 5-foot blade, they said.
And that's not listed as a permitted use or a conditional use in the ag zone.
Correct.
the sawmill will require it to be rezoned to the only zone that we have in our zoning ordinance that allows a sawmill is industrial zone
Yes, and that's with the condition.
as a conditional use.
It's not an approved use, it's a conditional use.
So that's why he's requesting it be, parcel be rezoned and a conditional use for the sawmill. So both of those, it will go to the planning commission first. They'll hold a public hearing, then they will make a recommendation to the county commissioners, who will also hold a public hearing, receive the planning commission's recommendation, comments from the public, and then make the final say on if the property doesn't get rezoned, then the conditional use just goes away. Because if it doesn't get rezoned, it stays ag, and the sawmill is not a permitted or a conditional use allowable in the ag zone. Any questions about that or any additional information you want to share?
I looked up the sawmill company, or the pallet company, that they're in another town, in another county, and that they have just outgrown the building that they're in. They're a very small quarter-acre lot with metal building, pallets everywhere. And so it's a growing company. I think it would be beneficial potentially for the county and hiring people and having revenue heading this way to the county.
And this is actually the parcel that we're talking about right there. That's
In the neighboring property, they said if they grow, the gentleman's looking to potentially sell that one. So they could just grow to that and stay here.
And it's not being, is it being requested to be rezoned or not?
Not at this time.
any questions? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to the second item that the planning commission will be hearing. Fred Hall Jr. has submitted a rezoning and variance application for parcel 5734C, currently zoned ag. The rezoning is to rezone the property from ag to C2 general commercial for an auto body repair shop. And the variance is to allow 2 additions onto the body shop. The additions will encroach on the side setback from 20 foot down to 8 feet, and the rear setbacks from 25 foot to 10 foot. Property is located at 123 Hall Road. And here, this is Unadilla going out Highway 230 right after Highway 329 splits off of Highway 230. It's right there on Hall Road is the location we're talking about.
He's having to rezone.
Yes. The purpose of rezoning is, he had an automotive shop there before, which he was a non-conforming use of the property. It was there before the zoning was set in place. He built an addition, and after he built the addition, the electrician came to get a permit for wiring it. We never got a permit for the building that he put in, which violates the non-conforming. And so because he's done that, he has to rezone that property to make it in conforming, and so it has to be made into C2.
Because he didn't get the permit.
Because he changed the structure, and it says clearly in there that you can't alter your existing structure and stay non-conforming. If you alter your structure, you have to change to meet the zoning.
So the reason, both of these will go before the planning commission first, the rezoning and the variance. The planning commission has final say on the variances. So what I expect them to do, if they recommend it be rezoned, then they can recommend that the variance be approved pending the county commissioners approving the rezoning. If the rezoning doesn't ever go through, there's no need for the variance.
Yeah.
In that case.
When will this be back before this body?
Yeah, hopefully at our next meeting.
What about the 8 feet? What's the other number?
The rear setback, being 10 foot.
Okay.
He owns all the property around it.
Oh, you answered that question.
Yeah.
Any other questions about that? Okay, thank you, sir. Item number 7, just a reminder, the River Valley Regional Commission Annual Legislative Luncheon scheduled for May 20th in Americas. In the next few weeks, they probably will be sending out a request to know who all planning on attending. They haven't done that yet, so we're just gonna keep this on the agenda until they send that out. But okay, item number 8. Is Rodney here?
Yes, sir.
Rodney, how about you come on up and bring Mr. Peacock with you? And I'll let Linda take over on this item. Where you want them at, Ms. Linda?
Right here.
Tim, you got you.
I've got my cell phone.
All right, I think that'll be fine.
How you doing?
All right, Linda, tell them how you want them. You gotta, it's like herding cats now. You gotta tell them where to get.
Stand up.
Yeah, stand up. David, stand up. So.
All right, today is considered Peacock Day at Public Works, and it says congratulations on your retirement.
Okay.
Henry Peacock has completed 30 years with the Public Works Department from January 2nd, 1996 to March 19, 2026. That's till today. And the plaque reads, congratulations on your retirement, presented to Henry L. Peacock in sincere appreciation for your dedicated years of service with the Dewey County Commissioners, Public Works Department. We hope that you enjoy your well-deserved retirement. And this is your plaque that we present to you. And we give you a little token of appreciation. And here's a key ring that says, happy retirement, and so the adventure begins. All right? All right, congratulations. Gene, you got you. You got it, Mr. Warren?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Congratulations.
All right, Rodney, you got a speech?
No, you don't.
I just know Peacock, everybody knows Peacock. First day I met him, he has been he's always been dedicated. It's gonna be a loss to our department. But, I think this was much needed retirement. I hate to see him go, but he's got a life to lead to. Put in a lot of service, always dependable, never failed. I mean, he was always there. Can't say enough good about him. I'd say to see him go, but we'll be staying in touch.
All right, Peacock, you got a speech?
No.
Keep it under 5 minutes now.
I'm okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, we're going to the next item. This got brought over from the last meeting. The interstate lighting out on I-75 at exit 112 and 117. There's lots of light bulbs that are not working out there. And we got a proposal. There's not many people that will that are qualified to be able to work out on I-75 and not many that want to be out there on 75. But we got a Cook Industrial Electric does a lot of the maintaining the lights. But in Chris County, I think the Power Commission down there does them. But Ford Electric does the city of Vinyls out here, and we got a quote from them. And I'm recommending, we got two quotes. Exit 112, which is the Highway 27 on the Vinyl Hawkinsville exit. I suggest we table that for right now, because that's $155,000. They saying it's got 87 200 watt LED fixtures got to be replaced out there. And I made a point the other night coming through there. It appears that every pole has at least one light on it, so it's not completely dark. There's no businesses on that, currently on that intersection, so let's see what we can do, trying to find an alternative or some, a source of funding to help with that. But on the quote says 115, this actually exit 117, the Pinehurst exit. The other night, if you were going northbound, there's no lights on that side working. On the southbound side, there are some, but you can tell they're not all working properly. I'd recommend we go ahead and do take the proposal from let's see, Cordial Industrial Electric to do the exit 115 at $15,075. And my saying, they're not just going to go do the side that's totally dark. They're going to go ahead and get everything up to speed. Because while they're there, rather than have to pay them to come back, if some bulbs go out next year or something, let's just replace all the bulbs and be done with it. I was telling my wife as we walked through there, as we were driving through, I don't know how much it cost. She said, well, I wouldn't want to have to climb them poles and replace them bulbs either. You know, maybe it ain't that way. You ain't got to climb the poles. There's a little panel at the bottom and it lowers the light fixture down to the ground. So you don't have to climb the pole or get in a bucket truck. So it ain't quite that bad.
A tall bucket truck.
If that'd be a tall, and I wouldn't want to be in the bucket truck myself. So you know, that's.
Why is it that company down there? I mean, they didn't take a bid on the top proposal.
Who?
Okay, you say you want us to look at the one bottom here, right?
Yeah,
For 15,000.
yes, sir.
That's not the same company at the top.
It's the same company, but
Okay, but they are.
it's totally different situations. The $15,000 project, that's the exit 117, and that exit is still the old exit with the old lights. It never has been updated. It's still got the screw-in bulbs. Exit 112, you know, about 10 years ago, the state come through and totally redid the exits, got them, the on-off ramps are much longer. They put in way more light fixtures, and they put in the new LED lights at exit 112. The county, at both of them, the county has executed an agreement with DOT. DOT provided the lights. The county just agreed to be responsible to pay the electric bill and maintenance at both exits.
How do you change them out? Same way you.
The LEDs, from what I understand, you have to change the whole LED. There's a LED fixture. It's not a screw-in light bulb. It's more involved and it's more expensive.
It's let down.
It's still, it's just supposed to, it's still, everything lowers to the ground. You still do it standing on the ground. It's just there's way more lights there to start with, and they're more expensive lights.
I'll make a motion that we move forward with the exit 117 light replacement from Cook Electric.
Cordial Industrial Electric.
It's Cook Industrial.
I'm sorry, Cook, you're right, Cook, I'm sorry.
industrial, that's $15,075.50.
I second, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, there's a motion and second. Do we have any other discussion on it?
So the plan is not to redo that exit no time soon?
I contacted DOT, and they said it is in the works, but it's several years down the road. They don't even have a tentative start date on it yet.
Any other discussion? All in favor by the show of hands? Okay, that motion carries.
Item number 10, we've received the funding request from the Cordell Judicial Circuit for their funding request for Superior Court, Juvenile Court, and courtroom technology fees. And just remind you, in the Cordell Judicial Circuit, which is 4 counties, Dooley, Crisp, Ben Hill, and Wilcox County. And you should have a package there in your, the one that the first page is going to have, show item number 10. Because I'm recommending we don't take action there. I just want y'all to get this information and look at it. Or you could take action today if you wanted to. But they send a request. If you flip over to the third page. Yeah, the one that looks like what's on the screen, it says Cordell Judicial Circuit, fiscal year 2027, Superior Court. This is the funding request for Superior Court. The Superior Court, they received the majority of their funding from the state, but they also received some funding from the county. So for next fiscal year, they're requesting $369,000 from the 4 counties. That top section, it just shows you how it's broken down on what they plan to use the money for. And then out there to the right, the $399,667, that's the amount that we're currently funding for that. So for this budget, they're actually requesting $30,000 less, but there's a reason for that. There's a reason. The state increased some funding they were getting for salaries. So we got a reduction in the request they request for us for salary supplement. So that's the reason for the decrease in the Superior Court funding request. And then it shows you how they break it down between the 4 counties. It's broken down by strictly on population. So for Dooley County, of that $369,000, they're requesting $72,313, which we're currently funding $78,181. For Superior Court, they're requesting less money, which is a good thing.
Is that population number correct?
Census population.
11 to it? I thought we went down to 10 something.
I don't think so. Then the next page is the same format, but it's for juvenile court. And they're requesting from the 4 counties $135,909, which is exactly the same thing we're funding right now. So we're not getting a decrease, but they're not asking for more money either. And then for Dooley County, we're currently funding $26,586, and that's the amount they're asking for next year. Then the next budget is actually a new funding budget request for courtroom technology fees. And I can't explain exactly what that is, but that allows, there's video cameras in the courtroom now, and that allows, I think, the public and anybody access to watch court proceedings over video. And from Dooley County, they're requesting $1,500 from Dooley County on that, and we're currently funding zero of that. And then I think the other letter is just then this page just totals all the requests. So they're requesting a total of $516,000 from the 4 counties. For Dooley County, they're requesting a total of $100,390, and for those 3 items, we're currently funding the 104,000, so it's still a decrease in funding with what they're requesting from us. They're on the state fiscal year, so this would go into effect July 1. So we will see a small reduction in their budget come July 1, if y'all approve this funding request.
So that total 535 over there is what everyone paid last year.
That's what they requested from the 4 counties last year. Superior Court the request went down 30,000,
And so others
but
went
then
up.
the courtroom technology went up 10,500. Any questions? Since it's a decrease, y'all may just want to go ahead and approve it. I don't know if you want to table it or approve it.
It's in the budget. In the budget.
I move, Mr. Chairman, that we go ahead and approve this, judicial, request.
A second.
There's been motion and second. Do we have any other discussion on that? So that's probably what, 20,000? With that.
We just got it lights.
Well, no, unfortunately, Dooley County's only went down 4,000. Yeah, the total went down, yeah.
Got lights at 1/4 of the intersection. The north side.
All in favor by the show of hands? Okay, that motion carried.
Okay, just wanted to put a reminder on the item number 11, the ACCG annual conference is in Savannah, April 23rd through 27th. If you're interested in going, let her know. She'll make the accommodations. Okay, item number 12, the next county commissioners meeting is 2 weeks from today on April the 2nd. Do you want to talk about that in executive session or open session? The fire truck antitrust litigation.
Let's just do it in executive session.
Okay, I thought you might, so. All right, so we'll come back to it. Okay, it's a little after 9:30. Scotty, come on up and give your update on the branding project.
Morning.
Good morning, morning.
Y'all know we started the process for creating Dooley County a brand and a tagline roughly 2 years ago. Created a committee. I think most of y'all are familiar with the whole process we went through with interviews and get input from the community. We used Carl Vinson Institute through UGA to create their branding program. So last Thursday was our final meeting for that, and we have copies of what we the final product on there. There's seals for the county, the industrial authority, and each city. I'm hoping that the county will consider adopting what's on the front of this as their official seal. And then hopefully the cities will kind of follow suit and use the same variation of the logo. Just to kind of give everybody the cohesive look, and it looked familiar when somebody looks at it, even though it may say Byronville in it or Dooley in it, it's going to have the same look. And even the industrial authority is very similar also. So I don't know exactly how Mr. Steve wants to take this forward on this, but I guess my proposal for y'all is to consider using this as adopting it as an official seal for the county and the logo and tagline, and try to get it out branding wise for the county economic development as much as we can. I'm proud of it. I think it looks good. Any,
I thought was let them take the book, look at it, and then come back maybe the next meeting and revisit it.
I went through the evening,
Looks good.
it looked good.
Thank
I put some time in it.
they did good work. I'm proud of it. But I mean, just while you're looking at it, if you have anything else, any questions over the next, I guess, 2 weeks, just reach out, let me know.
Any questions or anything for Scotty while he's here? Thanks, sir.
All right, thank you, appreciate it.
Miss Rhonda, you want to come on up?
Deal. We'll come right here first.
Okay.
As you know, we had our annual Chamber and Family Connection annual banquet and meeting yesterday. And we recognized, of course, our government officials, which we want to thank our commissioners again for all that you do for us. But we had one special person that wasn't there. And I know that he cannot stand to be in the limelight. He's very shy, very reserved. But we just thought that it was very important that we recognize him for the outstanding service that he has given to this community, to our county. He's very special to me, been a friend since, elementary school, I believe. So I want to just read this, put my glasses on so I can read it. This certificate of appreciation is in recognition of Steve Sanders for 40 years of dedicated service to Dooley County and its citizens. Your leadership, commitment, and steadfast dedication have made a lasting impact on our community and the many lives you serve. With sincere appreciation and gratitude for years of faithful service. And Steve, I just want to say how much we love you. You are a phenomenal human being, and you've done an outstanding job. And I can't believe you're leaving me. It's just too soon. You're still a baby.
Yeah.
Because you know what's going to happen. Connie's going to have a big honey-do list for you, and you're going to want to come back.
We'll see.
There's always room for you at the chamber table, so
Okay.
when you get bored, come on over. So if you don't mind, can we get a picture with the commissioners? I know you don't like this, but I told him I didn't care, because you deserve to be recognized and honored.
Oh, thank you. Go, Danny.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
So. Here we go.
Moving right along. Get back to it. Okay, Glenn, you want to come on back up? I think we're at item 14.
Would you mind if I invite the vice chairman back to Jordan?
Absolutely.
I have some documents for everybody. Cooperated. Pass them around. Not?
Sir.
Just one page.
working at school and getting a test passed out. With all these teachers around here.
All these stern looks.
We got one? All righty. Thank you very much, gentlemen and ladies, for having me here today. We, at the previous meeting that we had a month ago with the Planning Commission, we met with the commissioners and the House of Rayford. We met over in the industrial meeting location, and Scotty was there with his board. And a part of that meeting was twofold. One, to discuss updating our ordinance, which is on page 23, 24 of the ordinance in section 5 about the low density animal operations, and section 6 high density. And so what the Planning Commission did, we broke it into subcommittees, and Mac was on the subcommittee to put together a proposal to address setbacks, to address sizes and flow of capacity that we have. And what you have before you is the summation of that. I'll let Matt jump in here and talk about what the committee did and how they came up with this plan that we have.
We pretty much took what we had originally sent y'all, and then after talking to y'all and speaking with House of Rayford, we put together pretty much what we had talked about in the meeting with y'all, and we changed some of the setback distances to what we had all pretty much agreed to in that previous meeting with y'all. I think it satisfies close to what House of Rayford would like to have. It falls in line with what y'all requested from us, and that's pretty much, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's nothing different than what we talked about.
It goes in there to, if we exceed anything that's inside of this, it'll have to go before the planning and the commissioners before it's finalized. So y'all get the final say on anything that would exceed what they're laying out.
On the setbacks, we went to some of the current houses and stuff.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Where we had changed it was if it's like use property, like two ag side by side, and there's no occupied dwellings, nothing like that, I think we backed it down to 300 feet from the property line. If there is an occupied dwelling on the piece of property, it's 1,250 feet from there to the occupied dwelling. And if it is a different zoned area, like a residential, it's going to be 1,250 feet from the property line. So, but if it's basically two parcels, ag use, nothing on either one of them, it's 300 feet. And that actually, there's one of the reasons for that was because the previous setbacks, the way we had them, to put 6 houses on a piece of tract of land, you need over 200 acres of land. So if somebody was to come in here and wanted to buy land and make the investment for these houses, they can't afford to buy 200 acres of land and cash flow buying the houses. The way, if you're able to do 300 feet all the way around, I think it drops it down to somewhere in the neighborhood of 38 acres, which is much more doable and helps facilitate their business and getting the houses built.
We talked about price too.
Oh, you're talking about the fees?
Yes.
Fees.
The
have that.
other
Right.
page that I gave you, the single page is the,
Let's put,
okay.
let's
We're
finish.
not finished yet?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
If I could. Okay, let's try to get it straight in my mind now. Out in ag.
Yeah.
300 feet from all 4 sides.
Well,
setback.
if there's depending on if there's a road,
If
there's all.
it's not, as long as it's not a state road.
Yes,
State road would be.
state
500.
road, we'd have to follow along with whatever the state requirements are
All right, so they're saying like, state road would be 500 feet from the
Mhm.
road,
from the road.
and then 300 feet on the
Yes,
2 sides in the rear.
yes, sir.
But if it's a county road and it's surrounded by ag, just 300 feet all the way around.
Yes, sir.
That's the state road at that, right? We're talking about some equipment, talking about putting one.
Yeah, that's that's 230 up there. Yes, that's state road.
And now that one's done.
Yeah,
This
that
won't affect anything that's currently.
Right, this is going forward.
future
Yes,
permit.
correct.
Future permit. I'd like to read through that.
I kind of expected that. I mean, I expect y'all to take action today, but they wanted to present it and be here for any questions at this point in time. And but maybe once the county attorney gets, if the commissioners wanted to amend our current zoning orders to adopt this. But, all right, now we keep talking about we need to update the whole entire ordinance. And River Valley Regional Commission is willing to assist, but that could be a very lengthy process. I think that could be a very lengthy process.
They projected about a year.
So you're T minus a year. If you said that if y'all voted to do that today with them, you're looking at with getting them to do the work and then do the advertising and the implementation and going through the processes at least a year.
And so my question is, do we want to wait for this, or try to just go ahead and amend the ordinance, do this now? What would that process be?
You can do it piecemeal, but if you know that you're going to do a wholesale rewrite of it, unless there's an immediate need, then you would wait. If there's an immediate need, then you'd have to weigh whether or not it's worth it to do that. It certainly can be done.
What kind of time frame you're looking at?
A couple of months at the most, probably 60 to 90 days.
Pretty sure this is. We need to get. I mean, because they're moving forward.
Yes,
Yes, sir. And they're invest. I mean, I know for a fact that they're already investing in other camp. Like they're not stopping. So they're gonna everything. Not to fearmonger here, but every bit of time that we delay, and if it's necessary, is another opportunity we lose, because they need these birds in that plant, and they're gonna get them in there. And I mean, they've already stipulated that they got to have the birds to run the plant, and we want that business. So,
Well,
but we do need to do it. However, we need to do it. But I do think this is something we need to go and jump on.
Mr. Chairman, and I respect that there is some urgency of a need, but this is a deliberative body that sets legislative policy for not just one project, but for the entire processes for everybody. And so we have to go through we have to go through the hoops of the advertisement. And I think you understand that, and you have an appreciation of that. And that's the time frame I'm giving. 60 is if we could start today, but we can't start today because they've just been presented with this, and they need a reasonable time to review it. And I think, I don't know what time they've asked for, but at least by the next meeting. So, and then we can. So I respect there's a need. I respect that there's one particular customer, but when we make rules on zoning changes on a systemic level, we've got to look at it from everybody, and not just one category, but what this is going to do toward the next category, and what this is going to do. Sending them, it send a message, but not necessarily. It send a message, and it cause some issues we may have to undo if we don't get it right. So we need to make sure we're doing it right.
What other current, besides chicken houses, what other does this affect in the county now?
These, I don't think it affects.
Cows, horses,
Hogs.
We don't have.
I mean, it would affect.
Mortgage.
Yeah, I mean, it would affect going forward that it would, but I don't know of any other. But yes, it falls into like any type of feedlot with cattle, commercial hog raising, stuff like that. I don't know of any horse situations. The jumping forward to the fees, that would affect other stuff going forward. But just talking about this, right now it's chicken houses, but I mean, it does cover any large scale or density animal facility.
There is a spreadsheet in there that specifically says dairy cows, ducks, horses, poultry, sheep, steers, heifers, swine, and turkeys. So it covers those that are mass-produced animals that are used in production.
And then I say that, I mean, it covers that, but what I'm saying is I don't know of any projects going forward, but in the process of drafting this, we didn't, in looking at that, I didn't see where it would be a conflict with another animal confinement. I mean, it's pretty kind of broad, but it's not too broad.
But in regard to a large cattle producer that's just pasture grazing
Oh,
cows, it doesn't have any
This
impact
is
on them.
more confinement stuff. This is not,
So if I take a cotton field and I fence it in for cows, this doesn't touch that.
no, this is not talking about that. I don't see it talking about
If the
that.
purpose is to be raising cattle to sell to be a production, then it would be. But if you're raising just to keep a grazed area and you're harvesting a few, but not in the major harvesting, because it does break down the quantities.
It does break down the quantities. I mean, that's kind of a gray area on that because I'm looking at, somebody having a pasture with fence and that kind of stuff. The way I viewed it was like confinement situations where you have like a feedlot.
Right.
Something like that, and with dairy, like you have a dry cow barn or a milk parlor and that kind of stuff. So that
I know what we think. I'm just asking, going back to fencing, I think of Fate and them over in.
Yeah.
If you fence in something like that, that has to be redone if they expand?
If they expand.
Okay.
If it's existing and it doesn't conform, it's considered non-conforming. They could stay as they are. It's when they change.
Okay.
I really think that it's going to be definitely what you said in the direction we need to go. So, take whatever time you need to take. We won't have no other problems later on down the line.
All right, but then how about they're also talking about amending the fee structure as well.
Yes.
That's gonna be the single page handout they get us.
The fee schedule on the one item, right now, we're presently charging 40 cents a square foot for just the structure. Then it's 12 cents for electrical, plumbing, and the HVAC system is another 10 cents. So ends up being almost 60 to 70 cents a square foot. The question came into mind because of these are large facilities, 200,000 to 300,000 square foot. It's putting the prices up there almost $100,000 for permitting. And they asked us to look at comparing similar prices to other counties, and we took Macon County. Now, Macon County was at 2 cents a square foot, and we thought that was too low.
something like that.
So with the discussion that they had, they broke it down into 3 different categories: 0 to 5,000 square foot, with 20 cents a square foot, and that will include all of the electrical, all the plumbing, all the HVAC. It won't be a separate permit for that. That'd be all inclusive. 5,000 to 20,000 square foot would be 10 cents a square foot, and then 20,000 and beyond would be at 5 cents a square foot. So the larger facilities, and we actually have 2, not just the House of Rayford. There's another one down Purdue is building down at the bottom of the county, around Chris County Island Road. They're rebuilding one, and it's 150,000 square foot that they're doing.
And
give me an example of a chicken house, so I can actually see the money.
All right, so the 150,000 square foot house at 5 cents.
Yeah.
Well, I
want to know what the
can sit here and tell you, like the House of Rayford one that they just did, just the structural permit based on the 20 cents was $37,500, and that did not include electrical or plumbing. So there's an additional coming on top of that. I think when we figured it at 5 cents, it comes up to $9,600. Going from 37.5 to 9,600, but that would just be for structural. So we decided, we thought that it would be better to include, that would include and cover structural, electrical, and plumbing. So it's an all-inclusive permit, and this is just for the ag buildings, because when we figured it up, the visits you have to make at $9,600, it's like $330 per inspection. So it still covers the expense, but 37.5 just for structure was pretty stout.
Well, I for an example, now what, I know they got a bunch of them in, something kind of too. Did y'all see what?
Macon County was the one that we were closest we could get anything relative to it, and those were really, really low. They were,
I think it was 20, I think they figured up on a 4-house thing, it was $2,500. And then we pushed it out to like a 6-house, and it came up to like 36 or 30, it was 37.5, I think is what, 37.5 for 6 houses was what their permit fee would be. And there's a little bit with Macon County trying to, because I think they're figuring it a little bit differently. So there's a little gray area there, but when we figured it up, it was based on, I think what we talked about, it was like 2.3 cents a square foot is what they were charging.
but they don't charge by the square foot.
Yeah, we had to figure it that way. They just
in compliance with state law.
Yeah.
They just have a fixed price that they're giving to anybody.
But we just backed it back out by square foot if it came up with that figure, just for all, because we got to figure it by square feet. So that's what, and then we came up with the 5 cents. But of course, if you did 5 cents across the board, a smaller project, it's gonna be nothing. So we decided to, I guess you'd say, prorate it out based on square footage. And I do, just looking at this chart, we probably need to change from 0 to 5, and then 5,001 to 20,000, and then 25, because somebody would sit there and be like, I got mine's 5,000, I want to do 10 cents instead of 20 cents or whatever.
The second level is 10 cent, not 1 cent, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be 10 cent. Yeah. And that's just a typo.
Yes, excuse me. Thank you for catching that.
So with a chicken house step, they would pay the 20 cent on the 5 to
No,
20,
it's
or
not a
they go,
step, it's the
they
total
go
project.
straight to the
It
project?
goes, it's the size of the project. Total size of the project.
But then we've got exemptions for like pole barns that do not require permits for structures.
Pardon me?
I don't know, the ag exceptions that we made,
We didn't.
I don't think so.
that sheet you sent me.
I don't think he'd exempted pole barns. That's the way I read it.
So what would be the reduction in what we quoted them in the beginning and comparing it to what we got on the sheet now?
It would go from 37, the original, the project they're already started on, they're locked in at. It's 37,500 for just the structure.
It doesn't include the electrical
And
plumbing.
it
With the
doesn't
electrical
include-
plumbing, it was
That's
almost
all.
90,000.
That's all 6.
Yes, and then on top of that, they would have a permit for electrical, permit for plumbing. It would go down to, I think it was 186,000 square feet or something, I think is what we were figuring on. If you figured it at 5 cents, it's like $9,600. But that would include structural, electrical, and plumbing.
That's at 90 cents a square foot.
When they started this, if they had done everything,
Mhm.
how much would it have been?
We had to figure 37.5, and then what would it be adding on the
Everything.
electrical?
185,000.
Okay.
It was 40, your electrical was 15, HVAC was 10,
That's another 25 cents.
yeah, and
What's that?
electrical, HVAC, and your plumbing's 15, all right. So that's 80 cents. It'd be $148,000 that wouldn't have to pay for permitting.
And if this were to be approved,
If this was to be
96,
approved,
like 90, was it 9,600?
so we either have 185,000
Times 5.
times 0.05, .05. It'll be $9,250
Total,
total.
plus the 37 is already got or not?
No,
No.
that's it.
I just,
You know what we budget for fees? $90,000.
it's way over that.
This needs to be fixed today,
Mhm.
today. Not next week, not next month. We budget $90,000 for permit fees. And you got folks facing these kind of
And
charges.
this one's gonna blow that out of the water.
It doesn't, my point of asking what the two are is how did this get so out of whack? I guess it's
That's why
just,
we have.
Because this is the first time y'all had to address this, I think.
We've never done large. Everything was based upon smaller.
it looks good on paper when you first do it.
You can't punish folks.
Yeah. It looks good on paper until you do the math, is my point. You know, when you do the math out, it's way too.
When this first project came up and Glenn called me and he was like, have you done the math like you're talking about, Bert?
Mhm.
And I was like, no, I actually haven't. And he penciled out, that's just structure. And I was like, that's not gonna work. And he was like, cause he's like, what do you think we need to do? I said, we need to talk to the county commissioners, figure this out. And so when we had a meeting, we talked to y'all, and this is what we came up with. Because like I said, if you drop it down to 5 cents on everything, if you put up 5,000 square foot pole barn, it's nothing. So we're trying to be fair and trying to section it out where it's fair for everybody and covers your costs.
Mr. Chairman, I've always gone by, I don't care if you're dealing with chicken houses or mansions. We want to encourage people to build, and then we're gonna tax them. These permit fees are a one-shot deal. Paying taxes is perpetual. I mean, somebody's gonna pay. Somebody might die, but the next one is gonna pay. So we don't need to get hung up on fees like this. By any means.
I couldn't be in one.
And see, the other part of this is that project out there is a company place, so House of Raven. So that's a little bit different ballgame. You let an independent like you or like me come in there and I'm staring down that, I'm gonna be like, I mean, hell guys, that's a budget buster right there. I mean, you're sitting there like, man, I don't know.
That's not.
Yeah, we gotta back up and punt, regroup.
You saying go as is or do the flat rate across all of them?
I'm saying adopt this right here.
As it's written.
Yeah, as it's written.
We'll change
I
the
like
10
to put all
points.
the information that does.
The exception where I made an error, with one
I
too
mean,
many
that just
zeros.
simplifies it, when, you ain't got to throw electrical in there, you hadn't got to do plumbing, you hadn't got to do all this, and, I think y'all have even mentioned it, you'd love to see at times, it'd sure be easy if there was just one permit, all included.
We want to look at this and other stuff too, houses and all.
I want to fix this today because it's a whole other problem. We don't know who's gonna be on.
But it's
Now,
not.
if I may say, we did address, it didn't take no big action for us to address these other figures. I mean, we sit right here and hammered it out.
I think y'all have addressed it twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, y'all handled it.
And, even if we vote on that today, I mean, we can always come back and readjust what needs to be adjusted in the future to come.
Anything y'all need us as our board to work on, we'll be more than happy to help y'all with and try to get everybody on the same page.
Right, as far as the fees, that is something they could do today. It's the zoning ordinance changes that's a long,
Right.
rigid process. Fees, y'all have that authority to do that today if you so choose.
Have they already purchased permits?
No. They got the price when they got the price, they started making phone calls and why are y'all so high and such as that? And I said, well, you're the first project of this scale. And we didn't realize our pricing would affect you in this way. And so that's why it became a discussion.
Just for clarity, on this sheet, what numbers are we adjusting? Recommendation.
Only the agricultural structures on the fee schedule of the website. Could you pull that up on the
Okay,
county website?
right here. What do we need to change?
This is the proposal.
This is
Actually, as it
proposed.
sits now, agricultural structures is a flat 20 cents.
Okay.
And we're changing it to, and like I said, that square footage needs to go to the 5,001 to 20,000, 20,001 plus. We're changing it from a flat 20 cents to 20 cents on this square footage, projects this size. Second one is projects 5,001 to 20,000 is 10 cents. And projects 20,001 and beyond, 5 cents a square foot.
So this is correct.
Yes, sir, that is correct, except for that middle.
So on the first one, agricultural structures, it's just unheated space at 20 cents a square foot. It's the way we have it. And so what we're addressing is to change that one item into 3.
Okay.
And with that, it will say these things.
Okay, got it.
All right. You say you've compared to Macon County. Have we compared to any other counties to see how they're doing this?
Pulaski County didn't have it, but
Okay.
the answers we discussed with them, and everybody's kind of refiguring themselves as well.
Okay. Have we looked at any other county?
Beyond, no, we tried to stay within a close perimeter. We couldn't get any clear pricing because the scale of the projects is not what anybody had anticipated.
And also you got, I think the old Tyson houses were like 50 by 400, 45 by 400. And so now they're going with like a 56 by 600. And Tyson was pushing a 4-house farm, I think. And I think now we're going to like the 6-house farm. So that it's jumped up your square footage and your sizes too. So that's kind of skewing numbers too, as far as what used to be. Because a lot of people talk about it, they're like, oh, well, this is what the permit fee was. And it's like, is that a flat fee? Was that by square footage? It was by square footage, and now the houses are square foot goes up. Those old permit prices are different now. So that's where the trying to get a solid answer or a set parameter by it's kind of a little sketch.
I think I prefer the square foot price. I've been wanting to build a 100 square foot house. You had to pay the same thing, and still got to pay 10,000. So, yeah, I mean, it ain't right. But
We're working on it.
Yeah. But that's, any other discussion on it?
I know we need to update this. We can't adopt this as it is. We got to change the square footage.
Glenn, are we just taking, this is all correct on this right here?
So it's 0 to
This right here.
49.99.
So this will go into where you have the ag on the screen.
Yes,
We'll
ag
just plug this in.
And these 3 will go in that place.
So plug this in there, and you got it.
19.99.
Steve, you got that?
So I went
I did
back.
make an error. It should be
I did
5,001,
0,
20,000, 20,001 and up, and 10
and
cents.
20,000 and up. It's 10 cents.
How quickly could you get it to where it's printed to where it's right?
Pretty quick. I can go back to my office,
Like
pull
5
up
minutes?
less.
Would y'all feel better if we had it all in one document so we know it's all corrected?
An accurate document.
We vote on it. Or vote on it, and then let's be clear for the record what we're doing.
I'll be right back.
Feel like a bad kid now, putting it on myself.
So basically what you just handed him, the 20-cent fee would be from 0 to 4,999 square feet.
49, 4,999.
The 10 cent would be from 5,000 to 19,999 square feet. And the 5 cent would be 20,000 and above. Just to eliminate
Yeah.
that.
I
Both,
think I think I was
He went up.
5,000.
that's what I was, that's what
Yeah,
I was.
so I don't,
But,
the reason I did that was because, you know, when people build stuff, it's like, I want a 5,000 square foot, or I want a 10,000. They usually don't have an odd number unless it's like a custom home or something like, it's usually a square structure of some nature. So, but yeah, I mean, hey, tomato, tomato.
it's accomplishing
Yeah,
something.
tomato,
That
tomato.
is-
It might go down a foot.
It's gonna cost me some, I'll drop a foot off that.
Metric.
Metric.
Won't be square, it'll have a little edge in the corner.
Round one of the corners.
Yeah, round.
Y'all wanna go take care of some other agenda items? You're welcome to stay here, cause,
I'm gonna go sit back down unless y'all leave me up here for something.
okay, whatever, when he comes back, we'll come back to this item.
Thank you, Matt.
Yes, sir.
Item number 15, our hazard mitigation plan update. In order to be eligible for federal grant money in federal funds to assist recovery efforts, the county and cities are required to have a hazard mitigation plan that is current and updated. Our current hazard mitigation plan is good through, I think, next year or year after next. But it's a rather lengthy process to update it, so Don Wilford, our EMA director, has gotten the county approved for some grant funding from the state to assist us with updating this hazard mitigation plan. River Valley Regional Commission has historically always helped us update our plan. It used to always be Gerald Nixon with our River Regional Valley, but Gerald.
Glenn.
You need a map over.
No, you
Oh.
So River Valley has offered to assist us with this. They've prepared a contract for us to approve to engage them to do this. It's like all the previous contracts. And the fee will be $29,680, but that's the amount of the grant we're getting from the state. Now, the county is required to have some local match in the process, but we can meet the local match requirement without cash. It's by us participating in the meetings and having input into the process. So it is going to require several meetings that we need to be at. And basically the hazard mitigation plan, basically you go through and identify potential areas that could be damaged in the worst case scenario, like a hurricane. You know, your buildings could be damaged. Anyway, it's a rather long process. So that's why we've always in the past got River Valley to help us with this. So I would recommend y'all approve the contract with River Valley for $29,680 to update our current plan. Our current plan expires March 15th of 28. And we got right at 2 years before it expires. But our grant that we got from the state requires this project to be completed well before then. So I would request y'all to approve this contract and authorize the chairman to sign it.
I make a motion to approve.
I have the motion and second. Do we have any other discussion on it before we vote on it?
Thank you.
If not, all in favor by the show of hands, that motion carries.
Okay, we'll go back to Oops. All right, he has prepared a revised version of the fee structure.
I'll the motion that we amend the agricultural structure section,
Fee schedule,
fee schedule with what's been corrected here in place before.
I second, Mr. Chairman.
It has a motion and second. Do we have any other discussion or correction on before we vote on? All in favor by the show of hands? Okay, that motion carries.
Thank you, gentlemen.
I am gonna say that, I know there's probably some more projects in the pipeline for these chicken houses and stuff. I know we're working on these setback changes and that, and y'all doing the process. But, I'm pretty sure that if they come before us or something, we're gonna look at it based on if they need a variance to try to basically get to where we talked about today. So that, like, not beyond that, but to get to what we've talked about while this process unfolds, we will be working on those setbacks as far as maybe granting variances to those setbacks or whatnot, unless something comes up that, doesn't fit. Just to keep everything moving and not discourage any progress or any growth, and lose any business for the county.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
okay. Go to the next item. Got a note, and you should have a addendum or number 17, Waste Management sent an email yesterday informing us we implemented what they call an extraordinary rate adjustment that is allowed by the contract. The short version, and I haven't had a chance to call Mr. Edwards and discuss this, but the way I'm interpreting this is basically they're requesting they're going to be implementing a $2.14 per month increase in the garbage fee.
One thing, can I go back to this sheet? I know we just did it. Do you mind if we go right back to that right quick?
Yeah.
I just was told to do some math. On $19,999 at 10 cents is $1,999. 20,000 at 5 cents is $1,000. 20,000 square foot building's getting a cheaper permit than a $19,999. Like you said, of making it, do we just want to do the 5 across the board? Or raise the square footage? I mean, I don't know. That just doesn't seem.
Let's go start over one more time. Let me let that sink in my head. Read that example that you did.
All right, in the middle section there, $19,999 at 10 cents is $1,999. One more square foot at 20,000 at 5 cents is $1,000. At 20,000, you get a $1,000 permit. At $19,999, you get a $1,999 permit.
The bigger the house you build,
The cheaper you
cheaper it is. But then the taxes are gonna be, well, I understand you're arguing about 1%.
Well, I mean, but like Eugene said, we're not in it for this. We can't operate at a profit, but do we need to level that out or let it roll?
What do you think, Eugene?
Well, I'm sitting here trying to think.
Yeah.
The likelihood of structures we have built in that size.
And
the
is it-
house,
is
what's
it-
the house where you, the smaller house where you take the dead birds and compost them, what's that called?
Compost shed.
Compost shed, what size are they on?
It depends on the number of houses, number of birds. We use UGA, they help us design the correct size. Typically, they're gonna be 50 by 100. Some are larger. On an 8-house farm, it's gonna be 140 foot. Depending on how many stalls it's gonna take for the proper compost.
You're gonna have some activity in that category.
But in your,
With stack house,
but in that one, that's the project. That'll be in their thing, project. But if a farmer goes out and builds a 15,000 square foot shed with power and all, he's paying 1,500, but a 20,000 square foot shed would be 1,000. And this might be a non-thing,
yeah, I think it's not, because
I'm not-
they were paying much more than that until we started adjusting the middle of these things back for these ag sheds.
But you can build a 49.99 square foot for the same price you can build a 20,000 square foot.
Ain't that way different in the size, no.
They ain't gonna be square, no good.
It ain't, you know,
It ain't gonna be square.
We ain't talking about that.
All of them nines, yeah, it ain't gonna be square.
So the moral of the story is don't build them in the middle category.
What is the notified that time?
I'm just looking at the injustice.
Both of what by 12 cents?
We last, the 20,000.
David Morgan.
Huh?
David Morgan.
Commissioner Lester asked for this.
The judge said it might be a little too cheap, Tony.
And it's just, like he was saying, it kind of seemed kind of silly. You go, the more you build, the less, but still you want.
We'll run the square footage up in the third category to, what's the minimum total square footage of a chicken house complex? 50,000, 100,000?
Depends on the density.
Well,
We're in the medium density, pretty much.
when you buy it,
And so
do
that's
it in
just,
quantities, you get
that's just $500 more than the second.
There's
Right.
another.
You said on the house, that's why I said this, because you said you don't want somebody building a
Right.
bigger house.
In this case, we ain't talking
That
about
is
one square foot.
$500 more than the second one.
What y'all come with, Tony, 24?
Yeah, but that just, well, I was just saying, that just $500 more than the other one. That 1,000 was throwing people off.
We can run it, but I was just saying there's a disparity in the number on building bigger, you get like you said, build a bigger house, it should be the same, or they should pay more than that, but in this instance, they're paying less than the one that's smaller. But I'm good with it. See if it comes up.
Yeah, when you go up, yeah.
If nobody wants to do it.
Well, you're gonna be, theoretically, you will be looking at all of this again with the Regional Valley Commission, and they may have some suggestions that we haven't considered that could keep, but we're asking you to do something today. And I
At least they got
understand
some, plan, a little bit, job. Go by.
I'm not gonna leave the action you're taking in place. 'Cause I've
I would
already
go
voted
right, right now.
for now.
So, we finished with waste management?
No, we got interrupted.
My understanding of waste management is they were servicing us out of Kathleen. They closed that office. They're now out of McMathville Road. It costs them $14. They're charging us $14, almost $15. It costs them 16 and some change. They're losing money. They have a right under the contract to make that adjustment. you know, I thought, when I first saw it, I thought they were gonna talk about fuel, diesel fuel, and that may be next.
I thought that would.
They've already gotten, their contract allows them to have a CPI increase, and they've already gotten that adjustment for this year,
Okay.
earlier this year.
What did it say?
Math.
What is it?
As a transfer station in Americas.
It's in America.
It's south, well, it's over by the jail, the jail and the county work
That's
camp
America.
on the way to Plains.
Part of it was when they were in Kathleen, they could use the House and County landfill, and the tipping fee they were paying was $30.97. Now that they've closed the Kathleen office and they're operating out of Americas, they're using that transfer station, and the tipping fee is $68.52 a ton. Anyway, okay, all right. That's all I have, Mr.
So when
Chairman.
will that go into effect, Mr. Chairman? The $2?
The July, for the quarterly billing in July.
In July?
So every time they do something like that, then we got to absorb the cost.
Well,
No, but I couldn't see, you know.
County's not absorbing the cost, but our residents are absorbing the cost.
They're now doing the billing.
They're now doing the billing, so they bill the resident, they're billing me directly to myself, so my bill's gonna go up $2 a month starting in July.
I think they've already started. I got a bill for 59.
That was first of the year when they went up already.
Oh, the 59.
Yeah, that 50, they changed it, yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying, we're gonna let the residents know, right?
So they're going up on the fee because they closed the Kathleen office and now they're working out of Americas. All right, was that their choice? Because if they chose to do that to save money or do whatever, but in turn it costs us more money, I'd want to know why they closed that Kathleen office.
They closed the landfill is what I thought I read in there, or they closed the castle, they have.
They lost,
They lost
House and
that,
County.
they lost that contract.
They lost House and County.
Lost
That's
county.
why they got Kathleen.
Okay.
Lost access.
How long did our contract last with you?
20, 30 years.
Oh, no, it wasn't that long.
That's what they did the first time around,
Well,
they had 25-year
they gonna send out
contract.
notices to the people.
I'm saying that because that's the case.
Uh-huh.
Exactly, that's gonna be the notice.
But all the other proposals were way high, still high.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
to answer the question about the term of our current contract with Waste Management, it went into effect January 1 of 25, and it's good through December 31st of 29.
Well, I thought what we didn't we have something in there that we can terminate them?
We have the right to terminate it, and it's gonna be outlined in the clause what we can, we have to have a specific reason for terminating it, but we can give, my understanding, we can give them certain notice and terminate the contract. If we choose to, then
Who you can get to do
who
it?
you gonna get to do it?
Cause they ain't nowhere closing to them.
I think we're supposed to thank them for operating at zero profit in their mind. If you want to know. And I appreciate it if they're not making no money.
Yeah.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman, other than executive session. What's the other thing I do have one time, sorry, and I would like to add to, and I forgot about it. Got an item from the rec department that Joseph Willis brought by this morning. Okay, so
Yeah, I that was on my mind, because we didn't honor those kids that,
he couldn't get them here today. The next meeting, they're gonna be on spring break, so we're gonna honor the kids at the next meeting on that. But, they're getting ready for baseball season out there. Basketball season's wound down. They're getting ready for baseball season out there. They have some issues with the lights out there at the baseball field that they got by with last year, but they can't get by with this year. And they got a proposal from Cook Industrial Electric to repair the lights out there. It's $10,160. Joseph presented this to the rec board last night, and the rec board agreed to use some of their SPOS money to go ahead and get this done before baseball season. Y'all have always asked for major expenses out of SPOS for the folks to run it through y'all. So, like I said, Joseph ran this to the rec board, they've approved it, and they're requesting y'all approve it to use rec SPOS money to get this done. The amount is $10,160.08 for Cook Industrial Electric.
I make a motion, Chairman, to do that, for the rec department, coming out of their splash.
Yes.
That's it.
There's a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion on it? Did it, for that amount right there, did he get bids on it, or was it just somebody that he picked to do it?
That's who they just picked to do it.
All in favor by the show of hands? That motion carries.
Okay, then executive session is all I got, Mr. Chairman.
Make a motion to go into executive session for litigation update.
That's it.
Okay, there's the motion and a second. All in favor by the show of hands? Okay, that motion carries.
This conference will
Make a
now be
motion
recorded.
We approve the minutes of executive session as read in executive session.
There's the motion and a second. All in favor by the show of hands? Motion carries. I've been at this bit forever and a day. It's amazing how new things pop up all the time. Oh,
You ready to adjourn?
Yeah, we did.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
We motion and
Now you
second.
turn it off.
All in favor, and the show,